you need to be hungry and you need to know how to pitch your value. So the reason I got my job with Nick was actually from a cold email. I sent Nick a cold email about 3.5 years ago, and it's kind of been just fate ever since, where we started working together, and it kind of built more into this really like business partner, right hand man type of role with Nick, where him and I, along with a few other people on our team, are kind of just like running the business entirely and looking at the whole thing 360. So yeah, I would say that what I did is my backstory is I've always had this passion for food since I was a little kid, and I've always wanted to work in food. In high school and college, I was able to work in food. I got a few internships in catering companies and restaurant groups and whatnot. I sent Nick this cold email where I kind of carefully pitched my value for what I could do for him, why I liked his brand. I made it short and concise, and that's what I would recommend to anybody. Is a couple things. One is that creators do check their emails. So if you, and I think a lot of people, CEOs, whatnot, like a lot of people check their emails, especially people who are successful. It's pretty much a common fact of people who are successful is that you check your email. So number one is just shoot your shot. Don't be afraid to email your favorite creator or the top person on their team if you want to work with them. You really just never know if they're going to respond or what can happen. And number two is if you're going to do that, just make sure your pitch is good. And you don't necessarily need to have experience in your field, like I did with food. You don't necessarily even need that. Like you're not going to know an answer unless you just reach out. So reaching out in the first place is really important. And yeah, and just being super clear about what you could possibly do for them. A lot of these people, like creators or managers or whatever, they're very busy and don't have a lot of time to kind of like guide you through how you can help them. It's much easier if someone who wants to work for a creator, it's much easier if that person tells the creator what value they can bring. And it's just a very simple way to kind of get your foot in the door and allow the creator to see what you're worth.